Hello everyone, SpeeDMan here with a new run of the Let's Learn Civilization 6 series. So in this one I'm going to be playing as Teddy Roosevelt, Bull Moose. I'm going to be playing on Deity of course, Monopolies and Corporations, standard map size. Going to go with probably small continents, select map, and then we're going to go to advanced setup. We're going to go to City States 13, Lucky 13. What we'll do is just a pretty standard kind of start and game setup here. Normal victory conditions. I'm not going to change any of these. These are all kind of not a problem anyways. And then we are going to go ahead and start a new game. Now, with Teddy's Bull Moose ability, it is reliant on getting some decent breathtaking tiles that are either close to and or also containing woods and near mountains. So this is where his ability really comes in. The key point here is picking that up pretty early. So one of my goals will be to get that at a sooner point than later. I may have to re-roll the save a couple times. Hopefully I don't have to. If I do, no problem. I'll set up a timestamp in the chapters so that way we can skip to when the run actually starts. So that way at least it's convenient. But Founding Father's ability is really good. So once you get, tier 1, 2, 3 government and so on, all diplomatic policy slots are automatically converted into wildcard slots. This has a lot of value because this gives you more to work with. If there are situations where you don't need that diplo favor, that diplomatic policy card, then you can gain a lot. So this would normally be actually a really, really good position to start off. Here's the problem. None of it's high appeal. And I can go further out here, check out, and there's nothing of decent appeal. This is all charming. This is not or charming or just mediocre. I'm gonna have to re-roll. So we'll restart and just keep going until we get a fresh run. And then again, I will set a timestamp so that way you know when the actual true run start is. And I'll be doing something similar with other characters. I'm going to pick a few random ones, particular ones that I'm going to try to go through a specific run, basically a topic or a theme to learn. The theme for this character is going to be working on appeal, learning a little bit more about the tourism mechanics and trying to develop a little bit from there. Eventually going into potentially maybe a lake and culture, or kind of taking that into account and building further from culture into maybe a navy and some other things. So just gonna go from there and then see what works. So some of these are pretty good. Unfortunately, most of these tiles here are not. That tile would work, but I would have to put. If I use that tile, what I'd have to do is I'd have to put a preserve here, and let's see. I want to re-roll one more time. So unfortunately, the thing is sometimes you get not super optimal starts, and I do want to get a decent start with this so I can really explore the mechanics better.
Of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest, from this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. And so it is upon your broad shoulders, Theodore Roosevelt, to charge forth and lead your people on their great adventure. Use your military might to give the peoples of your homeland the square deal they so desperately deserve. Surely.
This river.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest, from this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. And so it is upon your broad shoulders, Theodore Roosevelt, to charge forth and lead your people on their great adventure. Use your military might to give the peoples of your homeland the square deal they so
This river has floodplains. Our city-state neighbors have made a request.
So I would say this is probably the best that I'm going to be getting for a while. Military traditions, that means I need to build an encampment. Not a major concern, but overall, a really strong start here to work off of. Overall, though, positioning is definitely good to start with. Getting a science city-state right off the bat. We're by the coastline, so we're in a good position. Probably, I could see tundra here in the bottom, so we're on the south edge of the map. We're in a good position, landlocked position, so we're secure here. We can secure the eastern section here, and then go from there.
Enacting.
I thought Clay must at his best.
So here, the sensible choice typically is going to be faith, and then going discipline, and then going from there. And then going and we'll explore this area from the north. I'll take the scout and kind of wrap around kind of the east more, and the west may not be as much of a concern. I know here is that I'm the only person being involved with this particular city-state, so that tells me that there's not likely another civ right next to there, otherwise they would have already found them. Because I don't see their troops, and that means their troops are probably pushing around westbound. So I'm going to go ahead and work on some trade here, and then further develop that. So that tells me that because there's a scout here, there's going to be problem of barbarian camps, and so the scout here will help me kind of take care of that a little bit.
Reconnaissance units.
Maybe early game slinger. Get a little more intel on what's around me. Just to secure the south side here. It's gonna be a solid little pop there. Go ahead and finish that turn there. That's actually quite good to find. Finding the Granada city-state, and that is Creative Great Rider, and this one's Military Tradition. A good one with this one is that builders can improve Alcazars. They provide a little bit of culture and some science equal to the tiles appeal. So if the appeal is, like, say, +4, that could be +2. So definitely can be very useful. So that tells me around here I need to start pushing in this direction. Kind of start taking care of these guys around here. Maybe send that slinger eastbound and try to help kill that that barb there. Get a boost.
We have recently...
Writing means...
So positions here that are available. I could buy +2 there. That also so happens to be an extremely high value type of tile. So I'm not going to go there. I think actually a +1 here would be fine. Let's see here. What's the appeal here? Those are not too bad. Finish off the slinger. Now, since I have rating done and have a pretty excellent amount of science and culture per turn, my focus here is going to be probably on animal husbandry. I'm going to want to go ahead and get that, maybe get currency as well as a couple other things, go middle tree a little bit. Since I'm going to be in the land here, I'm going to potentially want to consider, you know, so these are marshes.
That's the positive aspect.
Keep working my way down south here. And then go foreign trade to early empire. Have that ready to where once it gets done, it gets boosted. These two are not going to need to change.
I am fond of pigs. Dogs look...
My liege, our civilization has...
Extra envoy never hurts. Bring that guy there. Farm a little XP real quick here, very quickly here. And a couple turns we'll be getting a Pantheon. Hopefully I timed it fast enough to, let's see here. Man, so many of these tiles are so great for a start. This is where early game having just very high value early game tiles can really help drive that production, drive that science, drive that culture, and so on. So I'm going to take you eastbound. I want you exploring. I don't want you to get taken out yet.
When you find yourself in a...
So mining into, possibly into iron, into bronze working. It's an option. I will actually get that boosted, so I'll go ahead and get that to where it completes as a boost, and then I'll just go ahead and take that off. Pantheon and religious settlements. Quite a good one to get. I will take that, or Lady of the Reeds and Marshes, I think. Key production on Marsh. These are all pretty strong. Let me go ahead and take that out. Like say, for example, if I put a city here, that's a whole series of marshes here. That could be extremely high value. All these are 3 food. So that'd be 3 food, 2 production right off the bat on these tiles. Unfortunately, very low appeal. So the appeal aspect of these would be pretty bad. But for capital is a really strong capital to start. Just overall growth in this capital, potential-wise, is very good. That gives me a lot I could work with, and I could do a lot with that. So not a major concern. What I will do is I will likely pick religious settlements because getting the extra settler, especially this early in the game, is very, very nice for tempo. Now I'm going to want to consider places to settle. So positions that can work here. Press on that. So a lot of these are decent tiles. I'm not going to see a lot of other tiles that I could work off of and use Teddy's ability. See, Teddy's ability itself is really quite useful here. Being able to have the breathtaking tiles taken into account with these particular, having either natural wonder or mountain providing science, and then breathtaking tiles adjacent to a wonder or woods providing culture. All tiles in the city with a national park or puzzle and appeal. So eventually, once you get to the mid game and you actually have like national parks available, you'll want to make sure you have enough faith income in order to basically get a naturalist to get that. Founding Fathers, good ability. Once you really get to the point where, let's see here, that. I'll actually go ahead and start working on other stuff. Yeah, I would say like settling there is okay. Would like to see where. Click on search. Both of these are good combat bonuses to work off of with these promotions. This fella I'm going to keep bringing around south, secure more information, and then I'm going to take them all the way around the west. There's not a whole lot else in this area here. There's probably might be a connection to a civ here, but we'll be in an okay spot here. That's annoying. Man, he would have a unit there, of all places. That's a fantastic place for you to put yourself there. Thank you, Granada. Thank you. Optimal position for you to pick. For no reason. Okay, so I'm gonna get another couple science and culture per turn next turn with another population. We'll be getting campus in 2 turns. That'll be strong. That's gonna give me a little bit more tempo.
Bronze is the...
So this will be important. I need to quickly check. Only 1, and that's down here. So I'll have to settle a city down south.
May I make...
And then what I will do here is go with current build, go to food here, just try to get some food tempo going. Not that many viable tiles that I could buy. That's a 3 food, and I can get better once I have pastures, but that's not really going to be good right now. That is going to be currently giving me in this section here an amazing tile. Wow, that's a pretty darn good tile. So have him kind of check around the area. You go up north, just protect this north city a little bit. It's very low on defense, so skip turn. Let's keep checking around. Possible chance at a wonder. Could be a few things that could be of value. This is a very low food type of city. So I'm going to have to consider probably getting an aqueduct there, and that'll be a good one to help me get back up to pace. Also have the potential means to, see here, go, because I have bronze working and animal husbandry worked on. Don't really have the means to a lot of amenities at the moment, or luxury tiles, so really the tricky bit here is going to be, because this is actually, yeah, I would say irrigation. Actually, no, I already have animal husbandry, so that's good there. Irrigation, I don't think, that would be the only place there. That would be animal husbandry, and that's already actually a very good tile. Ah. I'm going to need to send that guy up there. I'm also going to eventually promote him up to an archer. Actually, I'll do that now. I'd rather have an archer just so I have some better defense. That'll be one of the key things, is just kind of defending this region. State workforce. Builders would be good. Go with that. Actually, I'd rather buy a builder. Campus early game is going to be good. Actually, a little bit of science is going to be nice. Let's go ahead and get state workforce. This won't grow in time. else is around here. Okay, so positioned well here. Didn't get the kill with the slinger like I would have wanted. I could have gone for the kill there, but just not really the most sensible thing. I'd rather get better XP on these guys than anything else. You will go south, and you will take... You will go around. Get some more information. Now that our circuit is completed, you're going to go west. So next turn, I'll just click on Automate Exploration.
My liege, the more special...
And do it for hills. You will go further west. I want you to go ahead and... Actually, no, never mind. They destroyed that that barb camp, so that's fine. That's actually a good thing. Cool. This city doesn't have very much tempo.
May the forces of evil become confused while your arrow is on.
Did they actually boost archery when I... Okay, that's something. Get that Diplo favor earlier. The earlier I farm that, the better. So I'm fine with taking that.
This volcano is...
Okay, I'm not going to do... you know what? No. I'm going to take that off. The whole point of automated exploration is to go where the things haven't been explored yet, and that's literally... There's nothing there. Okay. I was not expecting to get bamboozled by a game mechanic, but I got bamboozled.
Are people...
That is important to take out. I will do that now.
We are now ready.
I'll go Magnus, Washington.
Our governor...
It is equally important.
I have some chops here that are available. I could also, at this point, I could make a preserve here. Get some of this boosted up. Because unimproved, that tile, honestly, wouldn't get much better production, but it'll get much better stats overall. I mean, look at that 9 yield. 9 yield is... That's massive. For an early game, that's extremely powerful. I'm going to leave this guy unpromoted. I don't have any specific pressing need to upgrade him. I'm going to take this guy here, and then next turn, fortify. Move you here. You're going to move here. Next civic, I'm going to... I am going to just go ahead and get early empire out of the way, because I'm not going to get 6 population, anything close to in time for this to actually be viable, and I'd rather get a tier 1 government going. You will fortify. We're going to go across. You're going to just stay in the capital for now, maybe kind of like move over one. Stay alert. Good position to start with. So we'll take a builder soon. It's going to probably be 200 gold.
Once again, we have...
Another means to get that. I will get provision.
It was luxuries like air conditioning that brought down.
Let's get another settler very quickly here. More settlements, the better. Now that I have the means to get political philosophy, I'm going to go ahead and rush towards that. You are going to go ahead and just keep on fortifying. You stay fortified until you get done here. So it's nice to have an island to myself here. That gives me a lot to work with. I could do a lot of development here and kind of build some tempo off of this, so that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and damage this guy here. You're going to stay fortified, or alert rather. Ready up. I am sitting on... that's annoying. I am sitting on an amenity that could be sold off to somebody, but can't do much with that. I've met two. I don't see myself seeing a third one at this moment. Unless I take a gamble, and I am going to take a gamble. Why not take a chance? See some other stuff around here. There may be another civ or city-state up north, which if that's the case, then I can make value of that. Which means that I can delay this a couple turns, or a few turns at most, but I am going to want to get this taken care of soon. Yeah, there is more around here. You both are going to stay fortified. I would rather you both be fortified, because if they both attack you, your guys are going to stay strong. And you stay fortified. I'm going to eventually get a trade route, so I'm going to save that for now. Have not found a natural wonder. Irrigation, not really a big deal. I'm gonna have to think for a second to do a little bit of future planning. So I have some cities here. That's gonna require nothing specific. What I would do at this moment is there are some sparse mountains, so there aren't a lot of like very, very high science or faith generation districts that I can gain here. Most of them are all pretty sparse. You know, that's not really going to be erupting very often, so the value here is going to be pretty low. If it does erupt, it's not going to be for a moment yet, I don't think. Getting the settler here is going to be useful, trying to settle east. I would say probably eastbound. I would say 1, 2, 3. Probably settling maybe here on this, and then... Or actually, I could settle... Settle there, put a preserve here. Yeah, preserve here, and that would amplify. Probably have to build a dam later in the game, probably somewhere around here, but that's fine. Let them both kite. This works for me. You guys just stay fortified. Just keep tanking hits. The gamble did not pay off. It would have been better to buy it over. That's fine. Took a chance to see if there was anything up north here. I basically have a completely isolated continent. Really? Okay, well, since you decided to kill him, I'm going to take both of you out. That's frustrating. Well, I'll take that camp out. That's going to give me another bit of arrow score. That'll secure a normal age.
Money, if it does not bring you happiness.
Let's just take this guy up there and let him do his thing. Plenty of tribal villages, which means there is always a chance for a really lucky relic spawn, which could be very nice. Can make very specific use of that. That's also very powerful. Commercial hub here, +3 would be amazing. +3, and then rather get the adjacency bonus for the campus there. That'll help the campus just be a little bit more viable. And then I could probably clear that. If it even lets me clear it. I hope it does. You will go to that. You will go to that. You'll go to that. Only gold, that's fine. Okay, so this is literally a massive continent that's isolated. Okay, so this is definitely workable. I can make this work, but it's just going to be a little awkward, that's all. I am just going to go ahead and just let this complete. Took a gamble with my with the scout here, but that's fine. It's not a bad thing to have a scout for rotation. It's frustrating to lose a scout there. But that's sometimes how it goes. What I am going to do is with that next... oh, good. Yeah, I'd rather let the settler wait on the settler for now, and then get the government plaza, get the builder for free once I get the ancestral hall. That, for me, I feel like it's going to hold more value. There's knowledge of the wheel. You, my friend, you're just going to fortify until healed. This whole area is going to be very quickly populated by barbarian scouts and such. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind. With this next settle here, I'm going to be in range of horses, so it's not a bad position to be in. I can't really do much with... Man, I should have... The problem is, there are not a lot of places that I can actually put that government plaza. That would be really optimal, because the horses there are actually kind of limiting my movement. It is what it is. You know, that's sometimes how it goes. It's just a rotation block, essentially. It just blocks me from actually building my city a bit more compared to what I would like. But sometimes that's the nature of the game. Here, 2-1-2-1's fine. I would prefer better. Let's go ahead and swap that and then put one of them on that. I'd rather get a little bit better production. It's not much better, but it's enough to make a difference. This, might as well just stay on target with this, just get this out of the way. That will give me the +3 to both favorite return
Divide and rule
overall. So likely choice here is going to be probably Classical Republic. So I can go Classical Republic into, say, Merchant Republic. And then go like Democracy, maybe Autocracy is also a good choice. +1 to all yields for each government plaza building, diplomatic quarter, and palace in a city. So let's see, that'll actually add some good yields. Production towards wonders, not a bad thing. I'm actually going to consider some wonders this game. The wonders I'm going to choose are probably going to be the Hanging Gardens. So that means I'm going to go irrigation. I will want to get that just so I have better growth rate in all of my cities. That will provide a lot of value. Now I'm getting +4. Wow, that's really nice. +4 Diplo favor per turn, which is astronomical this early in the game. It's a lot to work with. I don't have a major pressing need. I mean, I'm gonna start saving up my envoys. I used one for just to get suzerainty of this. That's not a problem. Really, the thing is like at this point, you know, gaining that eventual favor really just adds a lot of value. Let's see here. Provides you with 2 of each strategic resource per turn that you have revealed but not owned. So I have gold, gold. I have iron, and I have horses, and I have a free city state that's literally making it so I can farm this stuff without actually having to do anything. That's massive. Granada's not bad. Like that is huge. Because I can put on production in old cities. Now that the barbed threats are taken care of, I can take that off. You know, I can go with something maybe kind of more akin to like a GOG. You know, if I want to build something with that. Navy's not really going to be a viable option really at this point in the game. It's just too early for a Navy because I don't have harbors and I'm not even coastal or even close to coastal. So let's see here. I could also eventually try to take Granada if I feel that's an option. You know, it's totally a viable option at some point in the game. Actually, let me consider that. If I take that, I haven't invested anything. That's the thing. I've been sure I don't need Granada as a suzerainty. Builders can now make Alcazars. It's gonna be good. You know, this could play into a tourism game. Okay, so I can actually keep this. This fellow here can actually be useful. So you'll stay alive for now. This also means in this case what I'm going to do is keep that card on, put on urban planning, and then I'm going to go ahead and consider the charismatic leader. Just keep working envoys for now. I don't have other things I could be doing. Eventually, once I get wonders, actually wait. 3 turns away. 2 turns. So what I'll do is get mysticism. And let's see here, 1 production, all cities. And then we could go a little bit of builder. It's a bit more viable here.
May I suggest that we construct...
I have no idea what the game gave me there. Be very low odds that that's a connection point. But if it is, that's going to be a very awkward connection point. At the government title, I will go ahead and consider surplus logistics. That's a good one for more growth. I'm actually going to do that. That way Magnus in the capital is just, it just really makes this a fucking super strong capital. I'm excited for that. And then what I'm going to do is going to go settler into library into ancestral hall. Can do that. Can also, in this case, no, I don't want to stunt my growth too much by trying to just get a free builder with the other means. Ancestral Hall, I'll do that after I build my third city.
I like to say I practice militant.
Okay, so good thing here is I can, since builders weren't really used, there was no need for that. Could have actually gotten envoys, but that's fine. I will go on and first take a look here. Four civs are already working on this, so this isn't even a proposed idea. That's not going to work. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna focus on the science per turn, or scientist points per turn. That's something I can corner the early game market for. So I will do very much just that. Now that this is done, what I'll do is take that off. I'll put this up here, and I could go ahead and put on Charismatic Leader. I could also consider deciding on Corvée as an option. I'll do that so that way I can work on that Great Wonder. Hugh will go over here. Okay, so this is actually likely a connection point. It's a very awkward connection point to another civilization or even just another continent, but that's fine. Drama and poetry I am going to focus on because I would like to get that set up to where, you know, I could eventually try to get a wonder built, a wonder early game, maybe around here, you know, it could be very powerful. Because maybe like a wonder here, then like so let's go map tech here. That'll be Hanging Gardens. And then next to it is going to be Theater Square. That'll be a nice little kind of little ring here. And then that's gonna give me, I was gonna be worried if I saw Hanging Gardens taken right after that. I'd be like, ah, well, so much for that plan.
The man who has grit.
That is the end of that, but that means there's also more land, so eventually setting up a naval setup here later in the game will be useful. You are going to go that way. You are going to make the Hanging Gardens, you're going to buy that, set that up, start that, and you are going to actually... Hanging Gardens will come right after that. You, let's see, what have you done? You've got the granary. Buy that. Preserve here. It's an excellent place for a preserve. So it'll just give me a lot of value here. That'll turn that into a charming, which will just give it a little more value. You know, 1 food, 1 faith. Not a bad thing to have. You know, a 5 food, 1 faith tile. What I can do here is we'll eventually be getting that done, so I'm not worried about a diplomatic favor, or diplomatic quarter rather, at this early stage of the game. I will actually want to go ahead and get a couple things started here. Reason being is I do want to get a few things moving around to where I can actually kind of semi-viably... First, I'm going to check him. Up.
John!
Pleasure to meet you. 7 gold per turn. On top of that, boom, I will take that. Take my amenity. 8 gold per turn. I'm gaining free resources anyways. I might as well just capitalize on that. I have a much more advanced setup here. His army is large. That's fine. He has more navy, like naval units. That's really the thing. This is actually pretty good. This is not bad. You know, I've got now a really good, nice little bit of gold income now for the next 30 turns. That's going to be really strong for me this stage in the game. I'm not concerned about amenities. Amenities are not a problem this early in the game. And what you guys will do... That's populated, that's populated, that's populated, that's populated. Now... Hanging Gardens. I will go ahead and work on completion for that. Ancestral Hall right afterwards. You just keep on working your way down. Get there next turn. I'll delete that. Get rid of that. Settlement there. And then preserve there.
Vessels large may venture more, but little boats should keep near shore.
With that, I need to have all units able to embark as I want to expand my search around parts of the map. It also means I'm going to want to start bringing this guy this way. I'll take your depot. Now, it's not a lot of gold because you probably don't have a lot of gold production right now. Perfect. So here. All these places are +1, that's a +2, nothing really crazy viable here. We'll go ahead and consider this. And then once the city gains a lot of tempo from having all this to work with, then what I will do at this point, also I am going to pick you and you're going to go there. I'd rather get just a little bit faster growth tempo to work off of. Faster I can get those populations, the more I can really build this part of it, because the culture bombs in this area, hopefully that'll really help grow out this region. We'll just hang out by the capital.
The time has come to history mod.
So we set ourselves up with a nice normal age. Not too far off the golden age, but that's okay. Training catapult, that is not going to be a priority. Let's see. He's in a dark age. And I would say free inquiry is a strong choice here. This is going to be a long-term one, but the build itself is going to be modified heavily. 10 and 9 key is a good one once I get more production means, so again, options are there. Really, these two preserves here are the only ones I actually really want to build. I don't want to build a preserve in my capital. I need that tempo from, say, having, you know, a theater square here. Because getting a wonder here, that'll be +2, and then having a diplomatic order there, that'll be another +1. So there's a lot of benefit to having that there, and I'd rather have that there so I can gain more from it afterwards. And plus, that just got built anyways, so that's fine.
The poets have been mysteriously silent on the subject of cheese.
And then what I'll do is I'm going to trader is 220. Okay, so I'm going to buy a trader in this city or this city, either one. Probably this city. I want to get this city growing quickly. That way it's up to par. I could also get this city, but this city, honestly, once I have this built, that's gonna explode. So I think Boston's gonna be more of an important city for me to get set up. Recorded history. Go down that line. And you will just alert for now. And I have much of the means that I'm going to need to carry momentum into the next part of the early game. So this is not bad. Six turns until this is done. I will recruit. Education's going to get boosted. You're going to go here. You will activate. Apprenticeship has been boosted and mathematics is boosted. That's good. So I get that done. I'm going to go to that, and then apprenticeship is going to be boosted. So that's going to shave some turns off of that, so I don't need to sweat that development. Take this guy and that guy west, and they'll start exploring parts of the world. One more turn, one more turn. 10 more for this one. I'm not going to try to buy any tiles here because I feel like the growth tempo will really start to come heavily once I actually yeah, I feel like, so he's suzerain of Rapa Nui, so that's a culture. That means there's going to be a culture one nearby. You both are going to explore. You take mathematics, and these cities will start to gain tempo. This city will pick up a trader. Should have done it earlier, but that's okay. And then this trader will go around to Washington. That'll give +3 food and 1 production. Not a bad thing to have.
If I were again beginning my studies, I would follow the advice of Plato and start with mathematics.
+5, +2. That is
In addition to bring
amazing. There's another city-state. Save up on envoys. General thing that I've noticed in this game is that you want to keep envoys if you haven't got a particular use for them. Reason for that is if you're in a situation where you're not going to really gain much from just simply dumping envoys into something, then you can see that there's not going to be a lot of value. I chose to use that as opportunity with Hattusa because I wanted to gain early suzerainty of that, so that way I can gain control of that additional Diplo favor per turn and also get free intel of the area. Both are useful things to have. It also means if there's ever a situation where, because this army, he's got quite a few warriors, if there's a situation where another civ tries to have a problem with me, I can utilize this particular city-state to my advantage and have control of them fairly early on. By having a nice bit of gold production is pretty good at this point in the game. So right here, I'm going to go horseback riding into apprenticeship. I'd like to carry that tempo into the next phase of the build. What I want to do is I want to set up... Pleasure to meet you. Exchange information on capitals. So here's the thing. I would like, ideally, to set up a...
The ascent to the highest...
Perfect. Now, once I have the ability to go ahead, I'm going to get the Ancestral Hall, but once I have the ability to get Theater Square, that's going to be a very powerful thing. This is also going to drive growth in all of my cities, even more beneficial. So these are good things. These are good things that are going to apply a lot of growth in my overall just potential. Now here, I'm going to sacrifice a couple turns here for 3 turns better. That's going to gain me much more as I approach that 17 turn point. They're going to head around that direction. This is a very good point. Positioning wise is good. Feel pretty comfortable with this position to start with. What I would like to do here is kind of further develop and take some of that tempo here and really kind of build from that. So I'm going to go here. That's just a geothermal. Geotherms are really nice. They can be really useful, especially once you get to the mid to late game, once you actually start having power generation become like a major part of the game. That's another civ. I'm on a tour. While I do that, let's see. Plenty of Diplo favor for open borders. I very much take that. So they don't hold it an extremely high value yet, but they will. They will. I could feed both competitors with free materials. There you go. This is very nice. Man, once that preserve comes into play here, it's going to be really nice. 3 envoys. Not going to use them. You stay on the water and just keep exploring. And Johannesburg. Military training. This is a good one. Cities receive +1 production for every improved resource type. After researching, industrialization becomes +2 production. So this counts as 1. And put 1 here. That'll count as another. That's another. I could eventually yoink suzerainty of that. It wouldn't be a bad thing to take. That's very low value. No, thank you. Important thing is that I don't fizzle out my development here. That's why this...
A man on a horse is...
Here. Aha! Trade routes to foreign cities earn +1 gold for each luxury resource. Not really that useful. That's a situational one. That's a very, very situational one. But another military training. So that means I'm eventually going to want to consider making an encampment. Encampment can be useful for just general purpose buildings, but eventually what I'll do is maybe make an encampment at some point, somewhere, and then just do that just for the sake of the boost.
The sea seemed to roll back.
I see Brazil. And Gaul. Pleasure to meet you. Here you go. Take my open borders that have extremely low value. $9 gold per turn. So none of them seem to value Diplo favor yet. That's fine. I will take advantage of that in the early game. You are going to go upward a little bit. You'll go down to meet Brazil. That's fine. So this got done, and now these tiles have some legitimate value. Look at that. Boom. That's a 2-1-2-2 tile right off the bat. That's going to go up to there, and that's a 2-1-2-2 tile. I mean, look at that. See, that's where growth can become explosive. Now, if I were to go ahead and put that grove down, that means these 3 tiles right here are going to provide an unbelievably powerful additional 2 food, 2 faith, and 2 culture. That's very, very helpful. But what I need right now isn't to do that right off the bat. What I need to do is find a way to consider getting better production. To do that, I'm going to need to find what's around here that's going to be useful for that. So first things first, let's buy a builder. Get that taken care of right here. Get a little bit additional means of production. Could also put that there. Get a nice little 2-3 tile going. If that's going to be 33 turns, and say I put it back here, it's 28. So that shaves some turns off. You go there. Yes, if I did improve this, that would be good, but the problem is that that's going to lose its value. because that will basically revert that value. It's going to change it for a little bit of gold, but that's really it. It's not really like a major benefit at this moment, really. I would say it's actually more beneficial to go ahead with something like something different, like either going for the Grove, or consider getting a monument, and then just getting that production early on. And then let's keep there we go. It's a couple turns lost, but that is netting me additional culture. And at this point in the game, the extra 2 culture is going to really drive me forward, especially compared to some of the other civs. And once I get these, let's see here.
History is the...
People. Okay, so this is going to be the one that I really want to go for. Getting Hypatia is very powerful at this point in the game. Getting an additional little bit of extra basically just an additional little bit of science. That's not a bad thing to have. That means basically what I'm going to want to do is hold on to Hypatia, and then get basically one of my cities, and go ahead, take that guy down. And yes, I could also potentially consider farming that. Not farming it, but harvesting that. So here, don't really need promotions at this point for Magnus. Magnus is already as good as he's going to get. Really, at this point, I would say... probably Liang would be good. District construction speed is going to be good. I would like. Moksha, no need. Amani. Amani could be good. I could actually... Okay. So let's take this off. But Diplomatic League. Keep that, keep that, keep that. And then what I'm going to do is take one into that. One into that. Get 2 of each on both. And then put Amani, and let's see, Johannesburg. So I'll put Amani into Johannesburg. She'll settle in 5 turns. That will give me suzerainty of that. It's going to give me additional diplomatic favor point per turn. And on top of that, the bonuses for Johannesburg are actually quite nice for what my general build is going to eventually come out to be. Really, the good thing is at this point is that it's going to allow me to transition more from just a very broad kind of growth standpoint to really start specializing. Like, I'm going to get games and recreation, go back and get the Coliseum eventually. That'll be a really key point of eventual development. This guy moving here. And there's the Kree. Poundmaker, Pashanmicha. Ah, you are at war with John Curtin. Here's some gold per turn. Oh. Let's make use of that real quick here. And then go there, and boom. Now I've got a buttload of Diplo Favor that I'm just going to hold on to, because that's going to start to come into major play. Thank you for the delegation. That is mostly appreciated. Unmet city-state has been defeated. Ah, Ottomans took out Non-Medal, so that's a culture one, and that's actually a really good coastal culture one. So that's... I'm surprised that they decided to take that down, but considering they do have coastal stuff, interesting decision, but that's okay. AI can do some funny things. And I will take open borders. Small price to pay, that's fine. You keep on going. And Rapa Nui. And we'll go ahead and for you, I will add that. Destroy Barbarian, that is not happening, I'm afraid. There's not a whole lot that I'm going to be doing on that end particularly, so I'm afraid you're on your own there. But I will take the extra culture though. Good development here. Now, if I go +1 production, it's good. If I harvest it, it requires masonry, but the production bonus in the quarry will be better. This will get me out of the Dark Age. I've got plenty of time, so no major rush. That's going to get killed. That's annoying. That's always a risk whenever you go out wide here like that. So next things up is I'm going to get this done. Once I get this done, that'll be good. We're going to take... We're going to come off there, go to that, block that. That's going to give me a lot of production. That's good. That's going to bring that down to 24 turns. Awesome. And the population coming in is going to be even better because that's going to give me the potential... potential to...
Completing the construction of this...
Yes. And you are going to... I already have one, so I'm going to go to this city. It's a significantly better amount of overall benefit for me to put it like maybe here, and then make a nice little kind of trio, maybe like a diplo quarter here and a couple of other things. You know, that could be better. I could gain more from that. I'll do just that. Right here, 18 turns. Gonna settle in. You're just gonna wait. That's gonna pay itself off in value as the game plays. Other cities and 9 tiles not owned by you. Lose 2 loyalty per turn. Not really that beneficial. I'm not gonna consider that a major thing or a major point of investment for me to think about right now. What I will do is I will go ahead, and that's not going to be useful yet. Builders, train routes. A couple gold per turn is not bad. Settlers. I will want to start getting settlers soon. So let's actually wait a second. Is Ancestral Hall done? It is. So, settlers it is. The settler card, where are you at? There you go. Boom, 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 and boom. Leave that on. I will eventually get veterancy once I have that available. That way I can get the encampments, but not major concern right now. I'm going to take you over here. You're just going to bug out. It's a very good setup here. You, I'm going to ask for open borders. 11 gold, that's fair value. Not liked by anybody in this particular game, which is fair. Help. I need help. I hurted. Rather keep that high production. I'll put you there. It's going to bring it down a couple turns. 17 to 16. It's 3 turns. Yeah, I'd rather just get that little extra bit of growth a little faster. I'm going to need that. Improving that's going to give me a little bit extra production too. That's also the benefit of Johannesburg. I should consider who I'm going to use here. Ling probably is going to be what I go with. Sucks, but just it is what it is. Nothing I can really do about that. I expect no less too of the AI. It's just going to kite towards a weak unit, and it's a weak unit, so it's going to go for it. So that's fine. Let's see. You're going to stay there. Philadelphia. Boston, I would say, to make better use of it. This is also going to explode the city growth. You're going to just go to sleep for the time being. You are going to farm. There's the rice paddies, and then you are going to go here next turn. And then also improve that. And the Johannesburg, that'll give me, if I remember correctly, cities receive 1 production for every improved resource type.
We're all a print.
Education. That is 100% priority. That is 100% by all accounts going to be the main thing I go for afterwards, because it develops my science tempo, and that's going to get improved. That's going to even further develop that. Perfect. Now the city actually has some legitimate production, and that's good. I need that. Instead of being 24 turns or 30, that is down to 14 turns. That's a lot. That's a lot of value. I need that. That value is going to provide huge growth surplus, because eventually what it's going to do is it's going to give a lot of no thanks. It's going to give a lot of growth tempo from the standpoint of production. It's going to allow me to get a lot of the infrastructure taken care of. Getting a campus here, then getting a Hypatia here. That'll be good, because all my libraries are going to give me even more science. It's going to give me a free library, which saves me time and also gold potentially. It's gonna be just overall really beneficial. So here in the main city, going to pump out a couple settlers. I'm gonna wait. You're going to go to defensive tactics. Going to skip to next turn. And then these cities are ready to start rocking and rolling. And I feel like this is where the preserves can really come to life. Is that if you're in a situation where you know you have a lot of low value stuff, this will help build some tempo. This will help you kind of get that movement kind of to start pushing. You know, that's really one of the main things I really wanted to consider as an option, and that's where I saw that and I realized that is a viable choice. What I would say here is settling. This would be another city that with like an excellent location for 1, 2, 3. Gonna be a weird city, but just trust the process with this one. And then now that the settler is complete, and I'm going to get another settler. I'm going to just basically start dumping a bunch of settlers down. Trying to get as much of the settler growth going. That is amazing. Look at that. Perfect. That's going to help this kind of just grow a little bit further. It's going to provide also free tiles for me to work off of. I need tiles to work off of at the current moment, so that is not a bad thing. It also means eventually what I could do is a lot of these tiles are going to gain a lot of growth potential. Grove isn't going to be a major concern. Grove is going to be a lot better to build in Philadelphia. I'm going to do this passively later in the game, but it's not going to be a major concern. What I will do, however, is I will go ahead and get a granary. This city doesn't need a granary yet. This city doesn't need it, but it will soon. So once this settler is done, I'm going to go to... actually, I'll do this. Settler into granary. And then I'll say... that'll do it. Alright. Well, everyone, I would say this has been a really, really good place to stop off. We've got good tempo. We've got the means that we need to develop. And we're going to take that from there. Alright, everyone. Well, thank you so much. And y'all take care. SpeeDMan out.